Their body is like this 6-year-old child that is very sensitive. So if you start to project, so you have a 6-year-old child in front of you, and you're asking this 6-year-old child a question, and you are genuinely interested in what the 6-year-old child has to say, then you're going to allow your body to communicate with you. But if you're talking to the 6-year-old child and you're projecting on this child of what you think is right, wrong, good, or bad, your points of views, your judgments, your belief systems, the child is too afraid to even answer you. And that's what happens to the body. Born in California, grew up in Reno, parents divorced. I ended up moving here in 1984 when I was 16, went to Chaparral High School, and have made this my home ever since in Las Vegas, since 1984. My passion, I tell you, is for my body to feel like it's space. Like there's no feeling of old stuff that's in my body, whether it's from food or whether it's from emotion or whether it's from traumas. I'm always looking to see what is in my space that I can tap into and through the Creator remove. Because when I'm in space, when my body is space, I have less things attaching to me, whether it's emotions, densities, food that are inflammatory. So I'm really about keeping my body in a space of emptiness in a way. That's my form of meditation, is finding things within myself to work on, and then to do this and pass this on to other people. I really want to be able to teach people what I'm learning within my own body, within my own self. Whether it's, again, tapping into food, what is light for my body, tapping into how to clear out my space, the energy space of me. So I'm always working on myself so I can teach this to others. Because I want other people to feel that they have this, this space, and I say space because when we don't have any points of views, or we don't have any belief systems or judgments, we're just space. If we can get all those things out of our way, we can really tap into what is the truth of us. What's light is the truth, and what is heavy is a non-truth. It's peaceful because it goes all about truth. What my truth is may be different than your truth. So, but just because you have a different truth doesn't mean I judge you based on your truth or your point of view or your belief system. The belief systems and the points of views is what get in the way of us really discerning what is light for us, what is our truth. If we can move the points of views to the side, we don't even know where we got those from, move the belief systems to the side, then we can ask our body, do you want this avocado? And the body might go, yes. Body, do you want this apple? The body might go, no. I've had a person in his 70s come into my office and say, I am on oxygen, I'm unhealthy, I don't know what it is. And I go, okay, so what are you eating? And he says, it's not what I'm eating very well. I says, no, but really, what are you eating? He says, well, I eat fruits. Well, I said, let's just ask your body if it wants fruits. So he puts the apple next to him, and the body said, no, don't like fruits. He's been eating fruits his whole life, on oxygen, wondering why he's unhealthy. And it's because he, point of view, said that an apple a day keeps the doctor away. And this is what he based his whole life on until he was 70 years old. Then I said, well, it looks like your body wants vegetables. And he goes, okay. I said, if you can just listen to your body for 3 months and see what happens. He did that for 3 months, and then he was off to Mexico, retired, and never saw him again. But he basically put his belief systems and his points of views to the side, tapped in what is light, the truth, and what is not the truth, avoided that. It's so funny because our brain is what has become addicted to food, not our bodies. Our bodies don't want diabetes. It doesn't want high blood pressure. It wants to be healthy. But what happens is through points of views or through taste buds, whatever the brain has been addicted to, artificial flavors and all that, that has changed people into eating foods that are really more about the addiction to them and not about what is the truth for them. But again, bodies don't want to have high blood pressure. They don't want inflammation. They don't want diabetes. They want to be healthy. So when you ask the body the question, let's say you're eating dinner and your brain says, okay, I want dessert, apple pie. That's not your body saying that. That's the addiction in your brain saying that. Then you can go, okay, so body, all right, you just talk to like you're talking to a 6-year-old child. Body, do you want this apple pie? And you might get we're talking to our intuition. So we're really teaching people how to tap into their intuition. See, the body gives you a heavy feeling, which is your intuition saying no. That in its own right was enough to override the brain, the addiction of the brain. And when you do this long enough, when you ask the body these questions about what it requires or what it wants or what it doesn't want, and you get enough of these light and heavy feelings, then over time, your brain, this little switch in the brain shuts off, and then you are back in your body again, and the addiction is over. Because addiction to processed foods and addiction to sugar is real. It's like addiction to a drug. So when people are addicted to drugs, they go to centers to get off of drugs. Well, when you're on sugar, you get diabetes. And once you get diabetes, that diagnosis, you, by a complication, will die of something from diabetes. And diabetes is one of those things that is 98% preventable. We used to say as practitioners that it was hereditary. If your parents got it, then you're probably going to get it. Well, that was wrong. We have now discovered that it's actually environmental. So it's your environment. It's not really what your parents did. It's about what you learned from your parents, but you're not exercising and you're eating foods that have a lot of sugar in it. And unknowingly, we have become addicted to sugar. The brain has become addicted to the sugar. The body has not become addicted to the sugar. The brain is here, the body is here. The brain is what has been addicted. The body doesn't want diabetes, again. So when you're going through the dinner, and at the end, there's the dessert, and your brain says, I want that dessert. And I go, wait a second, body, do you want the apple pie? No. That just shut the brain down. And that's the amazing thing about teaching people. I guess the biggest passion I have is about teaching people light and heavy in their body, about what is the truth for them and what's not the truth. And then they can decide what they're going to do with their life, with their body, with the food, with the people they hang out with, because you're really just tapping into your intuition. That's really all this is light is the truth, heavy, that's your intuition, that's you tapping into the quantum entanglement of everything. You can see something in a magazine, you can say, oh, there's this great supplement in the Amazon and it seems fantastic, and the brain is buying into the story of it, and it seems great and you want to order it, then you can tap onto your body and go, body, what about this product that's in the Amazon? And that product is already in the quantum entanglement of everything. It's already in the truth of everything. So when you ask the body, do you want this thing, and you get a heavy feeling, that's your body going, no, not very good. So your body can tap into things that are in your field. They can tap into things that are just on a piece of paper, or they can tap into someone telling you, hey, I got this great thing, it worked for me, I want you to use it, and it worked great for me. Okay, it worked great for you, all right, great, let me just put it in my field and to see if it works for me. Just because it worked for someone else doesn't mean it's my truth. It may be their truth. There's a lot of books out there about all kinds of meal plans and diets and foods to eat, and the person that wrote those books, that may have been the truth for those people. And they may be going, this is the greatest thing I've ever seen, and you've got to do this because I lost all this weight and it's fantastic. But it may have been their truth. But you have to take information. That's what the brain is for, is taking the information and go, I got some information, body. What about this meal plan? Or what about this diet? Or what about this supplement? And you can put that into your field, and then this is where the answer is. This is the information. The brain brings in information. The body is where the answer is. If we can teach people their intuition, that's my passion, is to teach people what their truth is, and they can decide ongoing what they're going to put in their body. Because once they decide that this is what is light and this is what is heavy, that takes care of the inflammation that is in people's bodies. Inflammation causes pain. Inflammation causes stomach problems. Inflammation causes high blood pressure. So if you stop eating foods that don't make sense to your body, then you're going to decrease your inflammation in your body. Also the toxicity in your body. You can have 3 apples in front of you from 3 different manufacturers in parts of the world, and you can point at each one of those ones, and one of them will probably be lighter than the other 2, and you want to put the one that feels the lightest into your body, because you don't know what the heck happened to these other 2. You just don't know. So the frequency is the truth of things. You're a frequency. Each organ has its own frequency, and food that you put into your body has a frequency. So when you put, your frequency goes out to about here, you're just light, and then this light is how your cells communicate. And once you put something that has its own frequency too, we're all just frequencies, once you put something that has a frequency into your frequency and you start listening to your body, then you can start getting some answers about what that food is for you. So that's my passion. When my kids grew up, I taught them intuition. So when they wanted to go to a party, my daughter would say, I want to go to a party, Dad. Well, ask your body, you know. Oh, I got to ask my body. Body, you want to go to the party? And she would get a heavy feeling. I didn't have to tell her no to go to the party. She already tapped into her intuition. Some people get it right away. I've found that some people have blocks in the way, and they also have like these limiting things in the way of them really being able to tap into their intuition. So we go through processes of removing blocks and then also removing limitations or limiters. Limiters are like you have a Ferrari, it goes 200 miles an hour, but your Ferrari can go 10 miles an hour. So there are these limiters that we take out of the body, and this is all through the Creator. So I am just the witness, and anything I talk about that I do, I just witness by asking or commanding or requesting something from God, Source, Creator, however you want to say it. And that source comes in and then does the work, takes the blocks out, removes the limiters, whatever it is, and then gives the person an activation into their cells. And the activation into the cells is, the activation will go in when you ask your body a question. If it's yes, they get a light feeling. If the answer is a no, they get a heavy feeling. And this activation goes much faster. And I just started doing this activation just actually recently. So the activation makes it much easier for people to tap into their field. The blocks are removed, the limiters are removed, and then if they can put the brain to the side, because if people are focusing their whole life on their brain, on making a decision about what they think is right, wrong, good, or bad, or they have a lot of belief systems, or they have a lot of points of views, or they're stubborn, then a lot of this gets in the way of them listening to their body. Their body is like this 6-year-old child that is very sensitive. So if you start to project, so you have a 6-year-old child in front of you, and you're asking this 6-year-old child a question, and you are genuinely interested in what the 6-year-old child has to say, then you're going to allow your body to communicate with you. But if you're talking to the 6-year-old child and you're projecting on this child of what you think is right, wrong, good, or bad, your points of views, your judgments, your belief systems, the child is too afraid to even answer you. And that's what happens to the body. The brain has to sit to the side, calm down, let the body come down from the addict, you know, come down and start answering questions. And you basically, you ask a body a question, and you stick your hand out here, ask the body a question. Is my name David in this lifetime? I get a light feeling, that's a yes. Do I live in Nebraska? I get a no. So you can ask simple questions to get the yes and the no's, and then you start going with easy things like sweet and low. Body, do you want this sweet and low? See what happens. Do you want this organic apple or this organic avocado? And then you can feel, if you allow yourself, if you leave the brain to the side and get rid of, you know, just put all your points of views and what you think is right, wrong, good, or bad. You have to start with this open journal that's blank, like you don't know anything. You don't know what Coca-Cola is. You don't know what White Wonder Bread is. You don't know what an apple is. All you know is it's a frequency and you're a frequency. And you put that frequency in your frequency and you're curious to see what your body has to say. That's how you have to start. Because if you think that the apple is good for you, oh, this apple is good for you, you're not going to feel it like that person that came in his 70s, because he already thought that the apple was good. He'd never listened to his body, didn't care that he couldn't breathe and he was on oxygen. Didn't think about the food because he thought that the apple was good. So you have to start out blank. You have to start out fresh, like you don't know anything. All you know is you're a frequency, but you put into your field as a frequency, and then you allow that to talk to you. So it could take it could take a minute, it could take weeks, but everybody learns. I had this lady that came in. She was a grandma. I call her grandma. She was 72. She came in and she said, I heard what you do. You know, I don't know how you do it, but I want to learn my body because I have a granddaughter. And in my granddaughter, I want to be healthy. My knees hurt. I'm overweight. I don't have much energy. I want to learn. She says, but if you tell me to stop eating bread, Diet Pepsi or beer, I'm at the door. Like, I'm not going to listen to you. I'm not going to take, and I says, I'm not going to tell you to stop taking anything. I'm going to show you how to listen to your body and let your body tell you what it wants and what it doesn't want. Are you okay with that? She says, okay, I'm cool with that. Teach her body, and I taught her like in 10 minutes, and you know, she got it so fast. I mean, she's like, her body's like yes and no. I mean, there was no, like, it was super fast and super strong. So I said, come back in a couple of weeks, you know, gave her something for her stomach and some minerals for her body. So she came back in a couple of weeks and she says, you would not believe it. And she lost weight. She's walking, you know, like a mile a day. She says, you wouldn't believe it. My body doesn't like bread. It doesn't like Diet Pepsi, and it doesn't like beer. But she found it out on her own through her own discoveries. Like it's not really good to tell people you got to stop eating this, this, and this, and this, because there is some resistance to that. But if you teach the body what is light and what is heavy, and if they truly have a strong enough why, like why, you know, for John, the person that came in that was eating apples, he just retired. He made millions of dollars. He bought a big RV, bought a place in Mexico, but he couldn't get down there. So his big why was, I want to be healthy to see my friends and use this RV I bought. And for the lady that, you know, the grandma, she wanted to spend time with her granddaughter. So there has to be a big enough why, and hopefully it's before someone gets to the hospital. We treat our bodies completely different than we would treat a car. You know, you buy a car, you change the oil, you rotate the tires, you change the filters, you know you got stuff to do. But with our bodies, we just do it differently. We do it when things have a problem. And when they get to that place where they have a problem, a lot of times it's too late. So if you were to treat your body like you would treat a car, like, I'm going to take care of my body. I have so many people, like, if I knew I was going to live this long, I would have taken better care of myself. I hear that, you know. If people were to take care of their body when they're younger and really tap into the intuition of what is light and heavy for them, what the truth for them is and what it's not, they can avoid a lot of unnecessary pain, discomfort, all the medical bills, time off, work. I mean, if employers would teach their employees this light and heavy, this technique, I mean, less sick days. You know, there's more production, more energy, less lethargic, you know, less pain in the body. We're just teaching people empowerment. Like, what would happen if we became empowered? Like, that would be crazy. Like, that's crazy, empowering people, you know, because we wouldn't be told what to do, and we'd be like, wait a second, before you tell me to take that, you know, let me just ask my body. That's crazy power. So, as a chiropractor, you know, working with people on the musculoskeletal side, I did that for 10, 15 years, and I saw that people were not getting, like, there's people that got better right away, and then there was people that did not get better. And then, so that was a musculoskeletal side. Then I discovered, you know, that there is underlying issues here. There's inflammation, there's toxicity, So then I started really jumping into the functional side of things and learning about muscle testing. Muscle testing is Eastern medicine. They've been doing it for thousands of years, of testing each organ, like the liver, the gallbladder, the thyroid. Each organ has its own meridian on the body, and you can test it. Let's say your thyroid, you're working on your thyroid. These are your testing fingers. You put pressure on your thyroid, and I muscle test your 2 fingers. And if you're weak, then I put something that has the frequency to match the frequency of your thyroid. It's called biochemistry. And you put it in your field, and now your strength goes strong. This is an indicator that that's what your body wants or requires. And so it's biochemistry, things that God gave us, things in the earth to match the frequencies of our body to turn the organs on in our body. So that was the next step in my journey, is like, okay, these people aren't getting better just with an alignment. They need something else. They need their inflammation out of the body. They need toxicities out of the body. They need their immune system increased. So that's the functional medicine side. After that, there were still issues that were in the body, and that was the unseen side. That's the energy side of things. The energy side of things are like feelings of regret, hate, fear, anxiety, I don't love myself, I'm not deserving. All these frequencies are in the body, held by different traumas of life that things can feed on. So we want to get feelings of regret out, and feelings of resentment and hatred that you may not even know you may not even want to use the word hate. But if you were to go, okay, in my past I got these people, body, do you hate this person? You'd be like, oh my gosh, I think I do. We have to start asking for forgiveness and finding this place of divine love so nothing can attach. So we can do the alignment part, we can do the physical part, but the unseen part, the side that you don't see but you feel, the depression, the anxiety, the fear, the jealousy, that's all energies that you can clear off of your field. And these energies can come in through your space, your body, your chakras, your dimensions. There's all kinds of places for these energies to sit. Like I say, you don't see them. Some people do see them, but most people don't see them. And because they don't see them, they think, but then they feel them, they think that that's their stuff. But most of the time, it is not their stuff. They're just empathing it from everybody else feeling depressed or anxious or fearful. That is probably the 80% of what is going on with people, is the energy side. The side of the space that they don't see but they feel, they think it's theirs, they try to medicate it, they try to do things to numb it, and then that becomes even more of a problem. So just like you take a physical shower, you take an energy shower every single day. You learn how to clear yourself every single day like you would take a physical shower. Be responsible for your space, but it's because we haven't been taught this in school. We've been barely taught how to eat in school. This is an important body. So we haven't been taught how to clear ourselves. And this is a big one for people to do, and they can take responsibility for their space and clear it. And then once that space becomes clear, then they could become something for the greater consciousness. Because once we're clear, we have this frequency that allows the potential for someone else to be clear. But if we're depressed and we're anxious and we're fearful and we have all this energy on us and we're walking around with this stuff on us, this is in our field. This is penetrating into the earth. This is penetrating into the person next to us. So people if they don't want to do it for themselves, then do it for the earth. The earth is 70% water. You're 70% water. On a molecular level, you're 99% water. People would say, you can have this study where you can project love into this glass of water, and this crystalline structure looks like a beautiful flower. But if you project anger and fear and resentment and guilt and regret into water, it turns into mud. So if we don't change the frequencies of your thoughts, not just your words, but your thoughts, you are projecting that onto your field of water, and to the field of water that is the earth, and to the field of water that is the people around you. So yes, food, but more importantly, it's your thoughts. and the words you say. That is the most important thing. When people want to get healthy, that is what they have to address first. And to do that, you have to pull all this stuff out. That is like a feeding frenzy of all the frequencies, like attracts like. You got to get the regret out. If you don't, more regret happens, because it's that law of attraction, the resentment, the guilt, the jealousy. You got to get all those things out of your body. That's what we teach in here. My advice is to learn intuition. Learn light and heavy. When a patient comes in here and we have all these therapies in here, I want them to know what comes up light for them. I want to know that I'm a contribution for them. I have people call on the phone and say, hey, I have this, this, and this, and can you help me? Or can you help my son or help my husband or whatever? And if I get a no, I won't see that person. Like starting out, it's really great to know what you're a contribution to, what person, what you have is a contribution, so you're not one and done. So you're not coming in, bringing people in, trying to figure things out. You have this intuition of, okay, this is the truth for me, this is a non-truth. I want people to come in that are in the space of what is the truth for me, that I can be a contribution to, and I have things in here that are the truth for them, whether it's nutrition or therapies or whatever it is. Or just techniques on whatever you do and your gifts, because we all have our gifts. What gifts you have, though, what person comes in to match that contribution. So I would have to say, because I've seen all kinds of people start up businesses and have products that are terrible. They have services from equipment that doesn't work. And they don't know any better. They're not testing these things. They're not testing the products that they're selling, and they don't work. And it's hard to make a living in a business that you have products that don't work and you have supplements that are dead. So learning intuition starting out is imperative. Going down the energy road, I've been working with energy since I was 14 years old, but to really talk about energy in the role that I have, it was pretty big, because I had to give up all the insurance that chiropractors can charge for their services, because what I do now, no insurance covers it. Teaching you intuition, your insurance company is not going to cover. Teaching you how to stay healthy on your own, insurance company does not cover. So the things that I teach you, I don't get covered by insurance. So I had to go from an insurance-based practice to a completely non-insurance-based practice based on the things that I have and do. So that was a pivotal time of going, I'm going to give up all that and just go in this space that I can really tap in on my gifts. I can tap into the Creator and what the Creator can do for people, and as I am the witness, and then teach people how to tap into their intuition. This has become its own beast of amazingness. Even through COVID, we were teaching people what to do with the decisions they had to make in life and whatever. So that was a big pivotal moment of giving up chiropractic. I do a little bit of chiropractic, but really just go down energy, functional medicine, energy medicine, all that. That's been the biggest gift that I've done in my career. It's all about testing. Like I going through the whole conversion to this new energy-based practice. There was times where I had no idea how I was going to make it, and I would go, okay, everything going to be okay, and I would get like a light feeling. So I didn't worry about things, because I just asked my body, I asked my intuition, my guides, hey, is everything going to be okay here? I got a light feeling. I'm like, okay, I have no idea what's going to happen or how I'm going to get through it or what's going to happen. But I kept keeping myself clear. I kept doing my own practices, going through my own stuff. And because if I don't do it, how am I going to teach it to someone else? And to really be faith-based on knowing that the answers I'm getting, I trust 100%. I'm going to be okay? All right, cool. I don't worry about things. I don't worry about the fear of losing things, because in that fear of losing things, I lose all my awareness. Because I can be happy having a moped, I could be happy having a nice car. Fear does not define me. I have a 4,000 square foot practice. I've had, a room. I worked out of a room at one time. So to maintain my happiness and the space in my body at both times, I'm not any happier now than I was back then. So I always tap into what is light, what decision is light, where to go. And at times, it's been a leap of faith, because the decision of what was light was not what my brain thought was the right thing. My brain's like over here, and I made a lot of decisions on my brain, and it was way off base. But when I started asking my body and my intuition, that made my decision making a lot easier, and knowing that the universe conspires for me, because at the toughest times, hey, is everything going to be okay here? I would get a light feeling. I'm like, okay, everything's going to be okay. The habits, number one, is clearing myself. People call it meditation, whatever you do, but I go through my sovereign space, my body, my chakras, my dimensions. There's a law of the universe says nothing's supposed to be in here, because it's my sovereign space. It's my free agency. So I clear up my free agency every day. I'm in nature every single day. I spend about an hour in nature. I don't overwork myself like I used to. I do things that I enjoy. I ask my body what it wants to do. Things that I loved doing 20 years ago, my brain really would like to do it, but my body's like, I don't want to do that anymore. So we're moving into this time of, okay, letting old things go. And it's not really right now. Really focus on what is right now. Paying attention to what I eat, making sure that it's light for my body. So we pay attention to what we eat, nature, meditation, always finding about what's going on inside of me that I can clear, so I can keep working on myself. Like, I work on myself hours at nighttime at times. I work on myself in the day. I'm always reading. I'm always discovering what it is. Not that I'm obsessed with it, but I want to know how I can keep clearing myself up, because I wasn't perfect. I went through a whole lot of things. And this is what we're here on this planet for. We're here to have compassion for ourselves, to forgive others, so we can let all this stuff go out of our bodies. I would say making decisions outside of my expertise, like, investing in businesses that I wasn't an expert at, or not really having control over. I think that was probably the biggest mistakes I made, is trusting others to do what they say they're going to do, investing in businesses that I had no idea really what they were all about. But when I keep things within my own sphere, what my own gifts are, and within my own field, because I'm here for a reason, and the reason is not to buy real estate land. My purpose is to teach people the things that I get downloaded to teach. That's what I'm here for. And something will come off as a distraction. Hey, this is a great investment. And then in the past, I'd be like, oh, okay, great. And then I would lose what my path is here. So it's really just staying focused on my path. What's my path? Is this part of my path? No, this is part of my path. And staying on that path, and then not making the mistake of getting distracted, because there's going to be things that are going to distract us off our path. And everyone just, has those things. And that's where I've kind of faltered. I think it's just asking the question. You're just always asking the question, what is highest and best for me right now? What is next for me right now? It's asking and you shall receive. We have an EE system in here, energy enhancement system. We've had the red light therapy. We still have it. We have things for lymphatic drainage. We have frequencies for foot baths. We have all kinds of different things that at times we're like, oh, this feels like it's the time right now. And when you ask the question, things will appear, and then the energy enhancement system appeared, and this is this place where you just sit in a room, it's scalar energy, the scalar waves penetrate your skin, helps repair DNA. Some people have great, we don't make any claims. It's just, a kind of a research device. And there's all kinds of information online. But it's always asking the question of what is next? What is in the highest and best? What's my contribution? How can I be a contribution in my space, in my field right now? And then things will always appear, based on asking that question. Teaching people intuition, teaching people what their truth is, that is what I am called to do right now. It's like teaching people what is light, the truth, and what is heavy. In life, they can do it with food. They can do it with the people that they're hanging out with. They can do it in the jobs. They can do it where they live. They can do it in their own, discovering their own gifts. Because if you have 10 different things in front of you, and your brain says, I want to do these 3 things over here, and you ask your body, and it wants to do this thing over here, the intuition saves you a lot of time and a lot of heartache in your life, because the brain will inevitably get, like the ego is attached to it, it will get you to something maybe completely different. Even with people that have soulmates, the brain like, I want that person, but the body says, that's the person that I want over here, and it's completely different than your brain. So my legacy is teaching people intuition, what the truth for them is, and they can have this frequency of truth within their field. And then as parents, they can do that for their kids. So the curses of what people think is right, wrong, good, or bad can stop. Because it's all about what the truth light is for you and what is a heavy. And if that person over there, the truth is different, there's no judgment about it or point of view. It's just what their truth is. And it's okay. I think it's people taking responsibility for their own health. I mean, I'm in the field of health. So if people trusting their intuition, learning what their body wants and doesn't want, learning where to go for therapies, ways to increase the energy of the body so the body can self-heal. Really, this is what we're all about, is acknowledging the fact that your body can actually heal. It just needs energy to heal, and it needs the right, food and minerals to function so it can heal. So ultimately, people learning their intuition, going into places where they can gain energy so their bodies can self-heal. We're not healing anybody in here. All these things that are in here is designed to give your body energy so it can self-heal. And to learn on a mass consciousness, this is really interesting, that we can heal ourselves. But through the Creator. So what has happened is we become limited on what our potential is for instantly healing ourselves. And I see this. So it's like that Ferrari that can go 200 miles an hour, but we're only going 5 or 10 miles an hour. Collective consciously, if we can get ourselves understanding that we can actually self-heal ourselves, like we don't need to go outside and have someone do this for us, like we can do it ourselves through God. Once this happens, then we can actually do some amazing things. But this is all about removing the limiters or the blocks so we ourselves can actually receive and accept instant healing. If you were to ask your body, can you receive instant healing? The intuition in your body would be like, no, I have no idea what you're talking about. Well, cells of the body, would you like to learn how to receive and accept instant healing? Your cells would be like, yes, this is what the light and heavy is that we teach people. Well, God, Creator, will you come in and teach the cells how to instantly heal? Yeah, Creator's like, yes. So we as the witness, because we're just witnessing this miracle happening, this thing happening, this is where it becomes we can heal within ourselves. This is where I would hope that we're going. There's so many experiences, and they're so random. We've had people come in that have been suffering for 20 years, and they walk into do a therapy or a session in the E system, 6 hours, their pain is gone. Some people jump so fast into this healing process, and some people don't. So the stories, the things I've seen are absolutely tremendous. And then the energy work of things, what I see every single day with the Creator coming in, I couldn't imagine doing things that I'm feeling or seeing on my own. So once we're really open to receiving these, in ourselves, these things that can happen through God, it is miracles every single day. And the energy side happens so fast, it's the physical side that takes time. The energy can clear up, energy's up here, and the physical body is still, so we can get the physical body there eventually. But, specifically, it's just too many. It's like every single day. Every single day I'm like, oh my God, this is amazing that this is happening and right in front of me. And this is so, and people will come in and they'll feel a little heavy and tired and they'll leave feeling like they're floating. And you look at my reviews and you can see what people are saying. I mean, it is absolutely amazing every single day. I sense that we're all here, learning what we're designed to learn in perfection, so that would be, I would say we're right where we're supposed to be. Even though it might seem hard or it might seem not fair in certain ways, but at this point in time, there is so much light happening. Like if you were to say 20 years ago, like 2000, I want to project love out into the universe. You would project love and it would be like, it'll get to right about there. But you say now, I want to project love out into the universe. And it just keeps going. Like there's so much light going on right now that it is quite something. So what is happening and I don't really get too much into solar flare, all that stuff, but I can tell you what is happening now, there is no blocks. The blocks are gone. It's just hanging on for dear life into your new highest and best self, and then get rid of the old self. That's what we're doing right now is you have your old self, you got your present self. This old self is probably about 40, 50, 60% of you still there. The new self is here. You want to cut all those cords and contracts and get that old self off of you so you can be in the new self. But as far as blocks go, we don't really have a lot of them. Ask questions. I ask and you shall receive. Just ask, what's my next step? How do I get healthy? Who's a person for me? Ask. It's a Bible thing. Ask and you shall receive. It is a truth. Ask and you shall receive. And pay attention to your words and pay attention to your thoughts. Be responsible for your space.